Have you ever finished a meal you've eaten 100 times before, only to feel your stomach swell up like you swallowed a balloon? Have you noticed an afternoon fog that rolls in no matter how well you slept the night before? Have you started wondering if this is just what getting older feels like, or if something deeper is going on? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening inside your gut after 60, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Here's the truth. Almost nobody explains clearly. Your digestive system doesn't fail overnight. It changes gradually, quietly, in ways that don't show up on a routine checkup, unless you know what to ask for. Stomach acid production naturally declines with age. The muscles that move food through your intestines slow down. The balance of bacteria living in your gut shifts. None of this means something is wrong with you personally. It means your body is doing what bodies do as the decades add up. The frustrating part is that most people never connect the dots. They try a new diet. They try a probiotic they saw online. They cut out gluten, then dairy, then sugar, and nothing quite sticks, because they're treating symptoms without understanding the actual mechanism behind them. Today, we're going to walk through what's really going on, what the research actually supports, and which everyday habits give you the most meaningful relief, especially if you're over 60 and tired of guessing. Stick with me until the end, because I'm going to walk you through a simple, realistic daily routine you can start this week 1 that doesn't involve extreme diets or expensive supplements, just small changes backed by real science that add up to a gut that finally feels like it's working with you instead of against you. If that sounds like something you need, do me a favor before we dive in. Hit like, subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. It genuinely helps this video reach more people just like you. Why your body's own cleaning crew slows down. When you were younger, your stomach poured out plenty of acid, and your gallbladder pushed out bile with real force. Acid and bile aren't just there to help you digest a meal. They're your gut's cleaning crew, keeping unwanted bacteria in check and moving waste through efficiently. But that crew doesn't clock in with the same energy forever. As we age, stomach acid production naturally declines, a shift doctors sometimes call hypochlorhydria, and bile flow slows down too. Less acid, lazier bile, and the whole system runs a little weaker than it used to. A 2021 review in a respected gastroenterology journal noted that slower intestinal transit time is one of the most consistent digestive changes researchers observe as people age, independent of diet. That's not a personal failing on your part, that's simply plumbing getting older, and plumbing you absolutely can support. On top of that, the community of bacteria living in your gut, your microbiome, tends to shrink in diversity over the decades. Researchers following older adults have found that people with more diverse gut bacteria were generally more mobile and resilient, while a less diverse gut community was linked to frailty. Your gut bacteria and your overall vitality are far more connected than most people realize. If a doctor has ever brushed off your bloating or fatigue as just stress or just getting older, I understand how frustrating that feels. You're not imagining what you're experiencing, and you're not alone in it. These slow, cumulative shifts in digestion rarely show up clearly on a standard test, which is exactly why so many people get sent home with vague advice and no real relief. Let me talk to you plainly, the way I'd talk to my own mother about this. I'm not here to frighten you, and I'm not here to sell you a miracle cure. Everything in this video is realistic, inexpensive, and grounded in real research. Some of it strong human evidence, some of it earlier stage, and I'll tell you honestly which is which as we go. Oil number 1, oregano oil. Most people picture oregano as nothing more than the dried flakes shaken onto a pizza. The concentrated oil, pressed at real strength, is an entirely different substance. Its active compound is called carvacrol, and you can think of it as a key cut precisely to fit that greasy biofilm shield. It dissolves straight through the coating and then goes to work on whatever has been hiding underneath. And this isn't just theory confined to a lab. Back in the year 2000, a study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research gave a group of 14 people with confirmed gut parasites 600 milligrams of oregano oil daily for 6 weeks. By the end, A common parasite called blastocystis had disappeared entirely in 8 of them, and 2 additional parasite types cleared as well. That's a genuine before and after result from real people, which is remarkable for something as ordinary as a kitchen oil. Ask yourself a few honest questions. Is your bloating worse after meals rather than better? Do you hit a wall of mental fog most afternoons? Did eating cleanly quietly stop making a difference for you? One important caution. Because this oil is potent, never take it undiluted. It can burn your mouth and throat. A drop or 2 mixed into a carrier oil, taken in short courses, is the safer approach. And if you're on a blood thinner, check with your doctor first, since oregano can thin blood on its own. Think of oregano as your shield breaker, but breaking the shield leaves one problem unsolved, and the next oil handles exactly that. Oil number 2, clove oil. Here's the trouble with simply killing a parasite. You can eliminate every adult organism and still lose the battle, because they leave eggs behind. Miss those eggs, and 2 weeks later, you're right back where you started, wondering what went wrong. This is where clove oil earns its place as the egg stopper. Its key compound, eugenol, has been shown in laboratory research to wipe out 100% of Trichinella spiralis, the parasite people can pick up from undercooked pork, performing about as effectively as the standard pharmaceutical treatment. Separate lab work found that these same plant compounds paralyzed adult worms and prevented their eggs from ever hatching. That combined effect is exactly why traditional recipes always paired a killing agent with clove. They didn't know the word eugenol, but they understood the results. Ask yourself this: do your symptoms arrive in waves, improving for a week and then suddenly returning? That rhythm often points to the egg cycle repeating itself. The approach mirrors oregano, a drop or 2, diluted in a carrier, taken with food, in short courses rather than continuous use. Again with caution if you take blood-thinning medication. Oil number 3, black seed oil. This next one tends to surprise people. Black seed, sometimes called black cumin or kalanji, has been a household staple across the Middle East and South Asia for generations, long before anyone attached a scientific name to it. In some traditions, it was even called the seed of blessing, used by grandmothers to settle upset stomachs decades before anyone knew why it worked. Its active compound is thymoquinone, a plant compound that researchers believe carries both antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, which may be part of why it seems to do 2 jobs at once instead of just one. In animal studies, black seed oil mixed into daily feed reduced a stubborn gut infection and significantly lowered death rates from it. Because it's fat-based rather than water-based, it fits the same pattern as the other oils on this list, able to move through that greasy biofilm coating instead of simply bouncing off it. Centuries of everyday use are now being backed up by modern research, and unlike some of the stronger oils on this list, it tends to be gentle and soothing on an irritated digestive system, which makes it a particularly kind option for an older stomach that has already been through a great deal. Many people take it as a small spoonful of the oil itself, or a few drops in a carrier, once a day with food, rather than in short aggressive bursts. One real caution: black seed oil can lower both blood sugar and blood pressure, so if you take medication for either, discuss it with your doctor rather than adjusting on your own. It's also worth introducing slowly on its own for the first few days, just to see how your body responds, before combining it with anything else in this routine. Oil number 4, garlic oil. You probably saw this one coming. Here, old household folklore and modern laboratory findings agree completely, with no daylight between them. Garlic's power comes from allicin, a compound that only forms once you crush a raw clove and let it sit for a few minutes. In laboratory testing, garlic has been shown to drain the electrical charge that a parasite like Giardia depends on to survive, effectively pulling the plug until the organism falls apart. In mice, garlic nearly eliminated a gut parasite called Cryptosporidium, and in that particular study, it actually outperformed the pharmaceutical drug it was tested against. To use it, crush 1 or 2 raw cloves and let them rest around 10 minutes so the allicin can form, then take them with food. If raw garlic feels too harsh, Aged garlic capsules offer a gentler version. Ask yourself honestly, do you feel worse rather than better after a large, rich meal? Is your energy lowest before you've eaten anything at all? Have you brought home a new pet or traveled somewhere unfamiliar recently? These are common doorways parasites use to get in. The important safety note: garlic thins the blood significantly. So if you're on a blood thinner or have surgery coming up, talk to your doctor before you begin, not after. Oil number 5, pumpkin seed oil. This next one is the gentlest on the entire list, and also one of the best supported by evidence. Pumpkin seeds contain a compound called cucurbitacin. A tapeworm clings to the gut wall with a surprisingly stubborn grip, and cucurbitacin causes that grip to release. Once it can no longer hold on, it simply slides out on its own. This isn't speculation. In a community study involving people with tapeworm infections, pumpkin seeds alone caused 3 out of every 4 participants to pass a whole worm, with no harsh medication required. Because this remedy is food-based, it's naturally friendly to the body. A small handful of raw seeds, or a spoon of pumpkin seed oil taken on an empty stomach, is typically all it takes. Side effects here are minimal beyond a bit of fullness, which makes this an ideal fit for a gentle, senior-friendly routine. At this point in the plan, you've cracked the protective shield, stopped the egg cycle, and loosened the parasite's grip. But eliminating something is not the same as removing it from your body, which brings us to the oil I asked you to remember earlier. Oil number 6, castor oil. Here's the twist. Most videos on this topic skip entirely. Castor oil doesn't kill a single parasite, not one. And yet it may be the single most important bottle on this whole list. Castor oil functions purely as the flush. Its active compound, ricinoleic acid, triggers a switch in the wall of your gut. Researchers trace this effect to something called the EP3 receptor, detailed in a 2012 study published in the journal PNAS. And that switch tells your bowel to sweep itself clean. This is the very bottle that sat by your great-grandmother's door. She never owned an oil designed to kill worms directly. She owned the one that washed them out afterward. And it turns out she had the right idea all along. Treat this one with real respect, because it carries the most serious cautions on the list. Castor oil is a strong laxative, and using it too often can cause you to lose water and essential minerals, genuinely risky for older adults, or anyone on heart, blood pressure, or diuretic medication. It belongs in the plan as an occasional sweep, never a daily habit, and never if you might be blocked up or pregnant. The gentle gut flush, step by step. Here's how to put all 6 oils together into something you can realistically start this week. I call it the gentle gut flush, and it comes down to 5 steps. Step 1. Open the drains, days 1 to 3. Increase water intake, eat more fiber, and add a binder like flaxseed or activated charcoal. Step 2. Break the shield, days 4 to 14. Use oregano oil as the base. Rotate with garlic or black seed oil. Step 3. Stop the eggs, up to week 3. Add clove oil to interrupt the parasite life cycle. Step 4. Sweep. Use pumpkin seeds regularly. Add 1 occasional castor oil flush. Step 5. Catch and restore. Continue binders, hydrate, and return to simple, nourishing foods. Repeat only a few times per year, not continuously. 2 things make or break the whole routine. First, weak oil does nothing at all. Look for oregano that lists a real carvacrol amount and black seed that lists thymoquinone on the label. The cheap, watered-down versions are why a lot of people swear cleanses don't work for them. Second, go slow. If you feel worse in those first few days, that's your body telling you to ease back, not a reason to quit. This isn't a race, and pushing harder doesn't get you there any faster. When this is not a do-it-yourself situation. Now, I need 1 serious minute with you. Most everyday digestive trouble genuinely is manageable at home with the habits we've covered, but some of it is not, and this part matters. If you see blood in your stool, if you're losing weight without trying to, if you have a high fever, severe abdominal pain, or you feel unusually weak, that is not a home routine moment. That is a call your doctor today moment. Please don't wait. And please don't try to push through those particular symptoms with lifestyle changes alone. For the everyday bloating, the fog, and the sluggishness that won't quit, that's the part you can usually take back yourself, starting now. One ordinary story you might recognize. Picture someone like Emma. She's 67, retired after decades working in a school office, and for years, she waved off her own symptoms as just getting older. Bloated by noon, drained by 3 in the afternoon, telling herself it was probably just stress, because more than one doctor had told her exactly that. Eventually, she stopped guessing and started simple, and she followed the routine in the order it's meant to be followed. She opened the drains first, she began drinking more water than felt normal, added more fiber to her meals, and stirred a spoonful of ground flax into her breakfast as her binder, giving everything a way out before she tried to move anything loose. Only after a few days did she bring the oils in, slowly and one at a time. The way the plan lays out, starting with oregano to break down the biofilm, rotating in black seed and garlic, adding clove to catch the egg cycle, and leaning on pumpkin seeds to help her body let go of what it no longer needed. She started walking for 15 minutes after dinner instead of sitting straight down, and she added a small serving of yogurt most mornings to help rebuild what the routine was clearing out. The first few days, honestly, she felt a little worse, before she felt better, some grogginess, a dull headache. The kind of thing that can happen when your body is processing more than usual. That eased once she slowed down and kept her water intake up. By the 3rd week, the bloating had eased its grip. The afternoon crash didn't hit nearly as hard. She was sleeping a little better, which she hadn't even been targeting directly. It wasn't a miracle, and her story isn't proof that any single habit here cures anything on its own. It's simply one ordinary picture of what a sensible, patient routine can look like when you actually give it time and follow the steps in order. To wrap things up, fiber supports your gut bacteria, fermented foods restore balance, and simple habits like walking, hydration, sleep, and stress control keep everything working as it should. These basics matter more than most people realize. It's also important to mention medications. Some common drugs for blood pressure, pain, or acid reflux can slow digestion or disrupt gut balance. If your symptoms started around the same time as a new medication, bring it up with your doctor. Sometimes small adjustments make a big difference. Now, remember the 6 oils. Oregano breaks the shield, clove stops the eggs, black seed supports your body, garlic weakens parasites, pumpkin seed loosens their grip, and castor oil helps flush everything out. Each one has a role, and the order matters. What you're feeling, bloating, fatigue, brain fog, may not just be age. It may be a system that needs support. This is education, not a prescription, so always involve your doctor, especially if you're on medication. If this helped you, tell me in the comments which oil surprised you most. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. I'll see you in the next video.